Bible.
I do, but now that Minister Omar.
Yes, see?
Blew the face out.
Therefore, that it covers everything. Yep.
Mine is going to be in Acts. Acts chapter 7 and verse, where's that? Seven and 52.
Okay.
Okay. And this is, you got, this is about the martyr, the first martyr of the church, Stephen.
Yes.
And basically, he was standing in front of a bunch of self-righteous people, and those self-righteous people were going to kill him, and he knew it. And so he gave a speech, one of my favorite speeches in the Bible.
Yes.
And in the speech, he basically ran down the history of the Bible, and you know how preachers can be. Like, we need to tell you, and it started with Genesis, but in Exodus something amazing happened. But don't forget the Levitical law and Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and then in Numbers, and then in Deuteronomy. And then they go through, we go through every little detail and so forth, and Stephen was no different. Like, I feel like he was like the prototype of ministers. And he runs it down, he's like, and then Moses had a son, and then there was Abraham, and then he begot Isaac. And like, when you read in the story, it try to be like, you kind of like, all right, Stephen, can you get to the point? And that's the way the self-righteous people were. The self-righteous people were standing there like, yeah, we know that. We know Abraham was found righteous account of faith, and we know he begot Isaac, and then out of Jacob came 12 tribes, and he runs down all of this stuff, and I can imagine these self-righteous people are like, oh, we know. What are you saying? And then after 180 hours, we get to verse 52. Now, I imagine them being half tired and like, okay, are we still going to stone him? And then he says something. He says, ye stiff-necked and uncircumcised in the heart and ears, ye always resist the Holy Ghost, as your fathers did, so do ye. And I bet you that woke them up. I bet you that caught their attention. And what he was saying is that, like, in your own self-righteousness, you have always persecuted the people that truly have come from God. You claim to be sons of Abraham, but you persecuted him. And my question is, do you? Are you a stiff-necked, self-righteous, holy on your own standard, so holy you can't hear what God is saying? He gives a history lesson, and if they were smart, if they opened up their heart, they would realize that out of all the prophets, we've never accepted any of them.
Yes.
And so the question is, and what he's basically asking is, when will you stop killing God's prophets? When will you stop attacking those who come with the word? And where does your righteousness come from? And so I say today that, thank God, I'm telling a story. I'm giving a message to nobody that's in this building, because none of us are like that. Everyone in here are people whose righteousness stands on God. But be careful, because we can always get to that place.
Yeah.
It's a warning. We can always get to the part where we sing all the right songs, we do the right dances, we clap at the right time, we deliver a word when it's the right time, and you get comfortable, and you start believing that you are the standard and not he is the standard. And you know what follows that? Persecution.
Yes.
You start saying, my church, your church is good, but my church, your pastor is great, but my pastor, you might heard a word over there, and we forget that we're one body. And I think that persecution comes right after self-righteousness, where you think that everybody else has access to the truth, but I'm the only one that got it. I'm the one who got a revelation. And then after that, you start persecuting the people of God, the people who you're supposed to be part of the body with. And since when does the fingers persecute the arms? Like, we're all a team, And so I believe Stephen was a prototype of true men of God. And Stephen basically looked at the people standing around him wanting to kill him. And he said to him, listen, you have gotten to the point that you're so righteous, you can't hear from God. God forbid we ever get to that point.
Amen.
And let that be our prayer, that we always be able to have an open channel between us and our Lord and be humble. Amen?
Amen.